school is an exciting time full of new faces and challenges and teachers. It can also be a time that feels fraught too, particularly for the 20% of American families affected by dyslexia. Well, on this Wellness Wednesday, I'm so excited because we're joined by Sasha Saidman. She is a dyslexic, I should say, children's book author, and most importantly, she's a mom, so you really get it. Thank you so much for waking up with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here today.
So I was telling you, my daughter, she's going to be 2. We read every night. Reading's so important. But when do you start seeing signs of dyslexia?
So from my understanding as a dyslexic is that those signs really start to show around 2nd and 3rd grade, where children who are more neurotypical will just kind of wake up and start reading. Those sentences will kind of make sense to those children. And for a dyslexic child, that right brain is dominant, which is the artistic and the creative and the out-of-the-box thinkers, but that left brain really struggles to see patterns, which is how we make up words from all of those letters, and that's kind of how the dyslexia really starts to show up.
And it can be so heartbreaking for these students when it's not clicking. So what can we do to be an advocate for our kids with dyslexia?
Oh my gosh, advocacy. I think the biggest thing is really having those open conversations about it with your child and with their loved ones and with their educators, and not only pinpointing the struggles that they may be having in the classroom, but their strengths. For me specifically, I'm a visual learner. So being able to go to my own teachers and educators and say, hey, I learn best by audio recording your lecture or by listening to a book on tape while following along, and really having that dual input helped me greatly through education.
Because did you ever have a moment where you just wanted to give up?
Oh, I think everyone has had that moment whenever you're dealing with something struggling. And for me, it was 2nd and 3rd grade, being in those little reading groups where they would put you in like A, B, C, and I was always in C. And I would just be thinking about the paragraph that was next on my turn, and I'd be trying to read ahead to memorize. And I remember just wondering, like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
I can't read. How can they read? Are they reading ahead too? And it was really challenging, and I definitely had some really negative self-talk.
But look at where you are now. I mean, it's truly incredible. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, so Melonade follows a little girl who has dyslexia, and she fumbles on some words, and she ends up coming up with this new idea because of it. So she sees a lemonade stand, bulletin board, and she thinks it says Melonade because lemon and melon are the same letters. And she ends up making this amazing Melonade stand, and the visual difference of her seeing that actually made it into a superpower, where everyone else just saw lemonade. So everyone else had a lemonade stand, and she was different and unique and beautiful because of it. And I just remember hearing a quote when I was younger saying, if life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
I love that.
I just loved it so much. I loved it so much, and I really wanted to have that as a book for children and families to be able to read, to, you know, enjoy dyslexia, find the beauty in it, find the strength in it.
I love this, and I could go on and talking to you about a variety of topics. So I really want you to come back on the show, but most importantly, where can we go to get this book? Because I would love to read it to my daughter.
Oh, definitely. I would love for you to read it to her along with my other books. But you can find everything Sasha at sashasaidman.com, as well as all my social medias are at Sasha Saidman, including my TikTok, which is the Kowalskis.
Well, Sasha, I am so proud of you. Keep shining bright and proving everybody wrong. I really love that.
Thank you so much.
Please come back.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me here today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I can't wait to have her back. I love meeting new friends. This is why I do what I do.